Primal is a mobile application to get you onboarded to decentralized and censorship-resistant social media, as well as earn money for your social media posts via Bitcoin. Today, we're going to take a look at how to get set up and using Primal. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.
If you need help with this topic or anything else Bitcoin related and the free tutorials on the site are not quite cutting it and you need that special touch, you can reach out to me at my website, btcsessions.ca, where you can book me one-on-one for private education sessions. Shout out to sponsors of the show, HodlHodl.com. If you're looking to buy larger amounts of Bitcoin and you have the priorities that include peer-to-peer trading, instant self-custody, and no KYC, this is the place to go. You can sign up with just an email address. Once you're there, choose your currency, payment method, and an amount, and you can start viewing offers immediately. Links are down below. Of course, when you do get a substantial amount of Bitcoin, you're going to want to secure it with some of the best hardware on the market. I love CoinKite and everything they're doing. The cold card is my go-to hardware of choice. I have plenty of their other goodies like tap signers, block clocks, and all the rest. And I have definitely pre-ordered the cold card Q. If you want to do the same or check out anything else they have to offer, head over to coinkite.com. You can use code BTC Sessions at checkout for a big discount. Now, backups are also important for your Bitcoin, and Cedar has one of the most beautifully designed and robust steel backup options on the market. It's got a disk and capsule design, super easy to use. They've got full starter sets for 1 or 2 seeds. If you ever need to swap out the information therein, you can simply get cheap disk replacements instead of having to replace the entire thing. You can check out my tutorial on how to use it, and you can check out the links down below for the best shipping options for you. Shout out to Nunchuk.io for your assisted multisig needs. Basically, this application on your phone can help you set up a multi-sig vault to secure your Bitcoin. You can use plenty of different hardware options like Nunchuk's tap signer, as well as the cold card and plenty of other devices. Once you're all set up with your multi-sig, it has baked-in inheritance planning, so your Bitcoin gets to your next of kin, and the whole thing can be done KYC free, so you don't need to give up your ID to have it set up and working for you. And finally, shout out to Start9, your sovereign computing solution. These guys have plug and play devices to host not only your Bitcoin stack, but your digital life. So you can host things like Bitcoin Core, your Lightning node, mempool.space, also files, passwords, photos, Nostr relays, and clients, as well as some AI tools and plenty of other options. They have everything from entry-level devices all the way up to what I'm running, which is the Start9 Server Pure. If you check them out at start9.com and you are looking at that high-end device, you can use my code BTC Sessions with a little plus sign at the end, and that'll get you 18% off. With that, let's dive into today's tutorial. So really quick, let's chat prerequisites. What are you going to need to know in order to successfully navigate this tutorial? Well, I'm going to be doing this from a very beginner's perspective. I'll discuss a few concepts off the top, but in general, you should be able to get through this without any prerequisite knowledge of Nostr or Bitcoin, Nostr being the decentralized network that Primal plugs into to give you that censorship resistance with your social media. There are some things that are a plus. Number one, some of the Bitcoin functionality in the app in terms of directly purchasing Bitcoin would depend on actually having either an Apple account or a Google account linked to a credit card. So that can be helpful if you do want to purchase Bitcoin and get it directly into the app. Otherwise, you can still earn Bitcoin for your posts by earning tips from other people using this app or any other Nostr related app. In terms of the Bitcoin side of things, also, if you have external Bitcoin wallets already, great. You'll be able to send to them out of the app. And so I'll link to anything that I reference in the video in terms of other Bitcoin wallets you may be interested in checking out. And then in terms of the Nostr side of things, As far as backing up your profile, it's a little bit different than your typical email and password type deal. You're actually going to have some important information that you can back up to a password manager. So something like LastPass, or there's plenty of other options out there. So if you have one of those, fantastic. I would advise backing up what's known as your NSEC or your Nostr private key via one of those. And I'll make mention of where you can find that in the video. But other than that, you're not going to really need to know anything else. All of those things are just bonuses. You can go into this whole thing pretty fresh. So with that, let's chat a little bit about Nostr and what it accomplishes. So here I am on primal.net. And as you can see on the screen here, Primal is a mobile application that can be used on iPhone or Android. However, Primal itself is not the social media network. It is merely an app that allows you to use something called Nostr. Nostr is a decentralized, censorship-resistant social media network, meaning that you can post things, you can share things, you can connect to people, and there's no centralized entity, for instance, like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. There's no person in a position of power that can say to you, you can't say that, you can't post that, you're no longer allowed to have an account. So this allows you to take advantage of that and enjoy your freedom of speech without fear of being removed from said platform. Now, Primal itself, it's possible for them to potentially say this account is not allowed to utilize Nostr. But here's the great part about Nostr. If that were to happen, you can actually migrate to another app that also plugs into the Nostr network, and everything will still be there. I mean, your posts, your connections, anything that you've said or shared, all of that stays constant no matter what app you're using. It may look a little bit different depending on how the app is set up, but everything is still there. They can't actually take down your posts. They can't actually eject you from the Nostr social media network. You are able to plug into that through a variety of different applications. And let's say even down the line that some other app beside Primal comes out with some really cool features and you like that one even better. It's not like traditional social media where everybody kind of gradually moves over and you got to rebuild your list of followers and follows and all of that stuff. All of it stays constant. You just say, hey, this app looks cool. I would prefer to use this one. You put in your information and everything that you've ever posted, as well as all of the connections you've ever made, are just there. Imagine with Instagram or TikTok, something better comes along and you say, I like this app better. And you simply just log in and all your friends, all your connections, all your posts are just there. And anybody that wants to switch with you can see all your stuff. And anybody that doesn't switch can still see all your stuff and all of the new posts that you make. So this is the difference between kind of our legacy social media that we've had and where things are going with Nostr. Now, on the Bitcoin side of things, one thing that is built into Primal is a Bitcoin wallet. Now, this Bitcoin wallet is managed in the back end by a third party. So that means that the funds therein are custodial. You're trusting somebody to hold those funds. However, you can withdraw if it builds to a certain threshold and it's more than a few bucks and you want to keep it in your own wallet that you control. You can do that. So all of that is built directly in, but just keep in mind, if you switch apps, you're going to want to move your money out and, get control of it yourself. In terms of the Bitcoin side of things as well, Primal, if you're looking to actually load up your wallet yourself and buy some Bitcoin, that functionality is built into Primal. However, it will rely on your Apple account or your Google account, which would need to be linked to a credit card. If you don't have that, not to worry, you can still earn Bitcoin on your posts very easily. Anybody can still send you Bitcoin. It will pop up in your app there and you'll be able to use it and you'll be able to withdraw it just as normal. Just if you don't have that credit card connection, it won't be as easy to purchase it directly in the app. You can still purchase it elsewhere and then send it into Primal as well. I'll cover that as we get to the Bitcoin portion of it. Either way, I hope that's a decent explanation to get you started. We're going to dive into setting up your Primal app right now. All right, so here I am with Primal open on my Android phone. And right out the gate, we're greeted with a screen that gives us the option to either create an account or sign in. We are starting from scratch, so we're going to be creating an account, but just know that you can sign in to Primal on another device if you need to, and we'll take a look at what information you will require for that later on. Either way, I'm going to hit create account here. And this takes me to a page where I get to set my avatar, my banner picture, my username, display name, website, and any about me, as well as a Bitcoin Lightning address, a Nostr verification, NIP05. All of this stuff you will come to learn what it is, but let's get started here. So first things first, I'm going to set a username for the purposes of this one. This is going to be kind of a throwaway account, but I'll just do something basic. So I'll just call it Nostr Noob. Let's try that. Is that taken? I don't know. We'll go through and Nostr Noob. Sounds good. Website. I'm going to leave that blank. I'll say just testing for my about me. And I'm going to leave the rest of this blank, okay? I am going to set an avatar. So I'll download a picture. Basically, you download a picture to your phone. And then when you hit set avatar, it's going to ask you which photo do you want to use for that. So I'll do that really quick and we will be right back when that is all set. Okay, so here we are. I've got Hide the Pain Herald as my avatar and a bunch of question marks as my banner. That looks pretty good to me. Let's hit next and see where we go from here. Okay, so it says, we will use this info to create your Nostr account. If you wish to make any changes, you can always do so in your profile settings. That looks pretty good. I'm going to hit create Nostr account. All right, so now it says your Nostr account has been created. Your Nostr key is safely stored in your phone. You can access it in the app settings, and we'll take a look at that momentarily. That is the information that will be required to log in on any other device or on your desktop computer. So next, it takes us through to find people to follow. I'm going to tap that. And there's a number of people that will suggest. It will automatically follow a handful of people that are kind of well-known accounts that may be worth. And I'm just going to leave those so that we can see what a well-populated feed looks like. And yeah, so I'm going to leave all this and I'm just going to hit finish. Okay, and so here we're landing on your feed. And so your feed, it's going to look very familiar to other social media platforms. So you can scroll through, you can see different posts from different types of people, all kinds of different stuff. If I click on a particular post, let's say I click on this one, then I will also see any comments down below it. And so again, just as some examples, let's look at this one. There's a bunch of responses. There's all the replies down below it. So pretty simple. Let's get our bearings here. Now, in the top left, you have your account. I can see that I'm following 62 people. I have one follower, which I believe would be listed as myself. If I want to go into my profile, I can hit profile. This is where it will show everything about me. Okay, anything related to my profile, I can edit it over here in the corner if I want to add anything. And this will show my feed as soon as I start creating content. Over in the top right, you can set what type of stuff do you want to see in your feed. You can see the latest along with the replies, just the latest, the trending over 24 hours, the most zapped, and we'll talk about what zaps are, highlights, and then some popular current hashtags that are happening. Along the bottom, you have your home, which is where we are right now. You have a search function where you can search for particular people or phrases or whatever. And these are some of the common searches recently that you can tap on as well. In the middle, this will take you to your Bitcoin wallet, which is not yet active, but we'll touch on that in a moment. The little bell, of course, those are your notifications, anything that has to do with you. You can also change the settings on your notifications in the top right. And this is where you can toggle on and off specific notifications. When all of these are on, it can be quite daunting sorting through your notifications. So you might want to say, I don't need to know if, let's see, if something was replied to, a note I was mentioning was replied to, or whatever it may be. So you can customize this as you see fit. And then finally, down in the bottom right, you will see your DMs. And they are separated by people you follow, any conversations there, as well as any other incoming notifications from people trying to message you that you're not following. There's also a mark as read button if you want to mark everything as read. And then if you want to set up a new message down in the bottom right, you hit the little plus sign, and then it will bring up people that you follow, and so on and so forth. Or you can search for a specific person. So that is kind of your navigation there. Let's now get into getting your Bitcoin wallet set up and how that's going to function. Okay, so to set up our Bitcoin wallet, as we noticed before, we're going to tap the little lightning icon in the bottom middle. And that takes us to a screen that says activate wallet now. We're going to hit that button. Now it says activating your wallet is easy. We just need a few details below. Name, email, and country. Okay, so I'll put in my stuff right now. Now, once you've set this up, it will send you an activation code to your email address. So you check that and you're going to plug it in here. Once you got that, you hit finish. And there we go. Your wallet has been activated. Your new Nostr Lightning address is the following. It will just give you a random one. I believe you can reset it afterwards. So I'm going to hit done. Now, once you're into this screen, there is now an option to buy sats now. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit that button. And it does default to Canadian dollars for me. And it lets me know how many sats I'm going to receive. So crash course in Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin contains 100 million sats. And the price of these sats can go up and down in terms of your local currency. But regardless, once you have that certain amount of sats, that amount of sats will remain in your wallet, regardless of the dollar-related price of it. You'll still have the same number of sats, and you can always send them back out and use them elsewhere other than just in this wallet. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit purchase now. And now this will be linked to a card that I have on file with Google. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit buy. It's going to charge me just over $6. And I will then get sats into my wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Now there's a tax of 30 cents. That's why the added 30 cents on top. So I'm going to hit buy. All right, payment successful. And momentarily, there we go. I now have an incoming transaction for 9,849 sats. So I now have Bitcoin in my wallet, which I can then use in and around Nostr by tipping other people that have been posting. So we will get into that momentarily, but now you've got everything you need in front of you. Just so that you can see if you do need to top up more sats, in the top right-hand corner, there's the little dollar sign with the circles. If I tap that, it will bring up that same payment page, and it will tell me how many sats I'll get for my $5.99. The denomination could vary depending on where you are. And then on the main screen here, let's just take a look at some of the functionality in and around the Bitcoin wallet. You've got a send button, and this allows you to send to anybody on Nostr. So this shows some of my contacts here. I can search for specific users up top. If I pick somebody, then I can type in an amount and continue from there. Alternatively, from the send screen, I can hit the QR code. This will allow me to scan a QR code on anybody else's Bitcoin wallet that has something called Lightning Network enabled. If I hit allow access, then that opens up my camera, allows me to scan things. And we'll take a look at trying that again later as well. And then we can also, from the send screen, we can go to the keyboard, and this is where you can paste in a Lightning address or an invoice. A Lightning address looks like an email address, but for money. And an invoice is kind of like a long string of digits, and it's encoded with the exact amount that is being requested, as well as the destination or the recipient that will be receiving it. So these are the different ways that you can send. You can type up here, or you have the option to paste from clipboard down below. And that's pretty much it. If you do want to receive, then it will take you to a QR code that anybody can scan. It also has your Lightning address here, which you can copy. And you can also add details as to a specific amount you'd like to receive, and that will create an invoice that can be copied or scanned as well. So the long and the short of it is everything is set up as I have wanted it to be set up. And now I can start interacting, making posts, sending and receiving transactions, and all of that. So let's just practice with some posts and start putting up some stuff on Nostr here. All right, let's go ahead and do our first post on a Nostr. So I'm just going to hit the little plus button down in the bottom right here. That's going to allow me to type whatever I like. So I'm just going to say something like, hey guys, just trying this thing out. How am I doing? Let's purposely not capitalize those things. And I'll just add in my picture there. That sounds pretty good to me. Maybe I'll put like #noob. Sure. And I'll just post that there. So I've made a post now. Maybe I want to also go and follow a specific person. I'm going to actually look for my real account here. There it is. Okay. So you can see I can search by name, or I can search by this BTC sessions at vlt.ge. Either way, I'll go there and I'll hit follow. And then I can also look and I can say, well, I want to reply to something. And maybe I want to just reply to this top post here. And then just hit reply. Okay, so I've now responded. I can see my response down below. If I really did like this, I could zap this post. And so how exactly would that work? Well, if I tap and hold, it will bring up this little pop-up here, and it gives me options for the amount of sats that I would like to send. So if I just do the 21, I'll tap here. I can do a custom amount down below, and then I can also say something, or something will pop up for the person when they receive this zap. I'm going to hit zap, and off it goes. And you can see it's now colored in because I've contributed to the zaps on that post. I've sent some sats over to technically myself in that instance. Okay. So there I've now interacted with posts, and I've made a post of my own. Now I did want to say, in regards to the zaps, you can also go into settings. And now that our wallet is set up, we can actually go to zaps, and there's all of these different options for custom zaps. You can go ahead and do that. This is the default. It will go to 42 sats. If I just tap, it will send that, but I can go in and I can edit the message and the value there as well. Same with any of these other options down below. Now, of course, just pictures and text are not the only things you can share on Nostr. You can also share links from other sites like media, like YouTube. So for instance, here's a video that I made the other day. I'm just going to go and hit share, and I'll copy that link. We'll jump back over to Nostr, and I'm going to hit plus, and I'll just say something like, enjoyed this video, and I'll paste in that link. And so it will sit here. Once I post that, that will be posted as a native viewable link, and it will be represented with an image here within Nostr as well. Alternatively, again, if you're on a website and there's a share link or you even copy the URL up top, you can go ahead and do that. So I'll do that in this instance. I'll just hit copy and I'll jump back. And if I wanted to post, I can just, again, put some text and then enter that link and post away. And again, much like everything else in my feed, that link will show up with any accompanying visual imagery that is linked to it. So a video, it'll be a playable video. A link, it'll be a news link, much like this. Now, in having posted, I did off screen go to my actual account and follow and like this account. So in the notifications down in the bottom right, I can see those notifications there. So I can see BTC Sessions followed you and then liked my note. And that's all based on the preferences that I've set for my notifications. They'll show here as long as they pertain to what I actually want to be notified about. Now, in terms of people searching me up and adding me, again, they may see my stuff pop up if it gets shared by another account. But also, somebody can go to my profile and if I go to my profile, there's something called an npub right here, and I can copy that and I can share that string with anybody. So people will be able to actually find me with that string. So if they were to go into their search bar and they were to paste that, then by pasting that, it brings up the actual account that is associated with that long string, which is mine. Okay. So that is known as your npub. And again, that is just public information that people can use to find you on Nostr. Now, off screen, what I've done is I've gone and with my actual account, I've gone and given a tip to this original post here. And you can see that there's now 5,000 sats allocated to this post sent from somebody. And where you would see that is in your notifications again. If I tap here, I can see that it now says BTC Sessions zapped your note for a total of 5,000 sats. And it shows all that information right here. If I now go to my wallet, I can see that, there's my outgoing sats when I tipped that account. And here's incoming sats, and it will show where it came from. I can tap on that, and there's even the associated message, which I had edited myself to say, welcome to Nostr. And there we go. Anybody can also repost my stuff. So the more visibility it gets, like if it gets reposted, then that will, of course, pop up in my notifications as well. So in doing so, which I'm doing currently as we speak, I can go and basically repost the note. I will get a notification, which I just did that there. And it says, hey, BTC Sessions reposted your note. So now, who knows, there may be a bunch of other people that see it and begin to interact with it in a certain way. So who knows, there might be some other sats that come through. There might be some likes or comments or whatever it is. But either way, I'll try and pay forward these sats to other people if there's any tips that come through on it. So just a couple other things here in and around navigation of your feed. Of course, as I mentioned before, up in the top right, you have options in terms of what feed you want to be looking at. So if I wanted to say what's trending in the past 24 hours, it will change my feed to kind of the most viewed and interacted with posts in that time period. If I go ahead and I say most zapped, these are going to be some, and hey, there's me. It would appear I've got some more replies and likes and shares and zaps there. But you'll see whatever posts have gotten the most zaps over the past 4-hour period. I can also go to Nostr highlights, and it will show just some highlights that Primal has kind of put together for me here, and so on and so forth. And then maybe if you're into photography, you can go into the photography section there, and you'll see lots of stuff there. And you can search for really whatever you like there. Maybe nature posts That's all good. So there'll be native local videos and all kinds of different stuff there. So yeah, feel free to poke around. And just in and around my shared post, if I go to notifications now, I can actually see some more things popping in here. Name checks out. Welcome. But yes, you'll get some interactions and stuff as you begin to interact with others. You get the point there. All right, so we're now in the wallet again. As a reminder, that's just tapping the little lightning bolt in the bottom middle. And we can see some additional zaps came in, which is awesome. Thank you, anybody who send those. Again, I'll pay those forward. But let's investigate sending and receiving Bitcoin outside of the Primal app. Okay, so just as an example, I've got a wallet here called Blink. And you can send to and receive from an external wallet like this. So let's see what receiving would be like. So I'm going to hit receive. And again, this shows my Lightning address. And that's really all anybody needs to send me money from anywhere. It doesn't have to be within Primal. So let's just see that in practice. So I'm going to hit copy. That just copies my address there. Within Blink, and this could be for anybody, they could simply go to send and they could paste in that address and hit next. And then they could set an amount. Let's say like, I don't know, 2,000 sats. And then they would just review their transaction, hit next, and they would slide to confirm. And notice that the fee is only 1 sat for them to send that. So payment was successfully sent. If I jump back from this receive screen, I should see, there we go, an incoming transaction, an external one for 2,000 sats. I can tap on it. And yeah, it gives me all the information here. And it says that's worth around 85 cents when I received it. Date, everything, all of it came through just fine. Now there's another way to receive too. If I were to hit receive and I hit add details, and maybe I'm specifically requesting, say, well, let's just make it easier to read, 250 sats, and maybe I'll just add some text there just to see. Okay, so 250 sats, the text will read as test. I'll hit apply. This now creates a special QR code with all that information encoded into it. Now somebody can scan this from an external wallet, or they can simply, I can hit copy and I can send that to anybody, and they would just need to paste it into their wallet. So again, case in point, here in Blink, I'm going to hit send. I'm going to paste from the clipboard. That gets all the information I need. I hit next, and it tells me, well, hey, this person is requesting 250 sats. I can see it there. And I can go ahead, I can hit next, and everything looks good here. So slide to confirm. And this, again, this is the flow that the person would go through. I'll just go back. Okay, so that was sent. Jump back to this wallet, and I believe I can just back out here, and I should see, there we go, payment received, 250 sats, and that invoice was paid. So fantastic. We can receive from an external wallet. What about sending to an external wallet? Well, much the same. We can pay to Lightning addresses or invoices. So what would that look like? Let's say the other person wanted to receive some Bitcoin, and they gave us their Lightning address. So in this instance, I'm going to copy this Lightning address, which is btcsessions@blink.sv. When I go to my send screen, down at the bottom, I'm not sending to a Nostr recipient, somebody on Nostr. I'm sending externally. So I can either scan here, or I can type in the information or paste in the information there. I want to paste in something. So I'm going to paste from clipboard, and that pastes in my BTC Sessions Blink address. I'm going to hit next. And then it says, well, how much do you want to send? Let's send 500 sats. I'll hit next. It says this is going to BTC Sessions. Great. I'm going to hit send. And in very short order, it should send off and land in the other wallet. So I get the green check mark here. I hit done, and I'm bumped back. It shows here. So what about here? I'll go back, and I can see invoice for 500 sats there we go. It was paid around 21 cents is what that was worth. Awesome. What if I want to send to an actual invoice? It's the exact same flow. The person would go and they would create an invoice with a specific amount. Perhaps that amount is 421 sats, whatever it was. Okay, set the amount. Same thing. They would copy this information and they would send it over to me, however, text message or messenger or something like that. I would then open up Primal. I would hit send. I need to paste in information. So I'm going to go to the keyboard in the bottom right and I'm going to paste in from the clipboard. I'll hit next. It deciphers, hey, you need to send 421 sats. That's what's being requested. I hit send. And again, in short order, I should get that green check mark and I should see the paid notification back here. There's my green check mark. Fantastic. And so finally, I want to show how to send a transaction by scanning a QR code. It's pretty intuitive, pretty simple. I'm just going to hit that scan button in the middle, or actually, alternatively, I could hit send, and there is a scan button down in the middle there, which I'll tap now. That opens up my camera. It'll probably ask you for permission to do so the first time around, but now I've got a phone here with a QR code, which I'm going to scan. It then interprets, hey, look, you are being requested to send 100 sats. I can just simply hit send, and that should go off. And despite that I can't really show the screen of the other phone because it's on a different device, I can assure you I got the green check mark as well as here on the phone that we're using. So that was sent off, no problem. And so this would be the process that you would go through, again, just interacting day to day, sending transactions outside of Primal. But it would also be the action that you take when perhaps you want to remove money from Primal and put it into another wallet that you control. Now, when you're dealing with small amounts like this, you're likely going to just be using kind of custodial solutions because there can be fees attached when you're using fully self-sovereign money that you hold yourself. But what I will say is if you start getting up near the threshold that they recommend in and around 1 million sats, then it's worth looking into using a wallet that is fully self-custodial. And one that I really like is this one here. It's called Phoenix. And when you go into it again, when you set it up initially, one of the things you're going to need to do is to get what's known as a lightning channel. And this is where things can get a little bit more complex. But basically, any Bitcoin held in this wallet here will be fully my own Bitcoin. It's not held by anybody else. And so again, this is just a demo wallet that I was using on this phone at one point. But what you would do is you would send a large Lightning transaction to yourself in this wallet. And then you would have full control of your money. There's nobody that can tell you no. And yeah, so I do have a tutorial on Phoenix. I will link that in the show notes down below. But for day-to-day small transactions, this will be just fine for you. And Blink is another good option just in terms of, sending a few dollars back and forth. But again, if you start building up, you get close to that 1 million sat threshold, then I'd say Phoenix is your best bet, and it's good to withdraw all that money to your own custody. Now, one thing I did want to show in regards to your Nostr wallet or your Primal wallet here is that you can actually use an external wallet entirely throughout this process. So if I wanted to, I can go into settings, and then there's a segment for wallet. So if I tap on that, there is a toggle switch to use the Primal wallet, or you can connect an external wallet via Nostr Wallet Connect. And so if I tap on that, it gives me the option to connect either Alby Wallet or Mutiny Wallet. And so I can go ahead, I can do that, and basically it will be able to pull payments from those options. Now that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but just be aware, if you start diving into Alby or Mutiny, then you can connect those too. And I do have videos on both of those wallets. I will link those in the show notes down below. And yeah, if you want to tackle those, that will be there. But for this video, I'm going to leave that toggle switch on, and we'll continue using the Primal wallet natively. Now, the last thing I want to touch on here is, what if you need to migrate away from Primal for whatever reason and use a different Nostr related app? Well, really simple. And this has to do with your NSEC, or your secret key, your private key, it would be referred to. It was created in the app as you set up Primal. And you will need to back this up. It's very important, because if you delete the app, you don't have the information on your phone, you switch phones and you don't have that, you're kind of stuck. You got to create a new profile. So the way you find that is if you go to the top left and you go to settings, under account at the top here, you're going to have your public key. That's your npub. That's, again, how people can find you and search you. And then down below, there is your private key. Now, I'm not going to show the key, because that information then can be used by anybody to log into your account. So you want to keep this very, very secret and private and safe. But what you can do is you can copy the private key and you can put it in a password manager and just label it as Nostr NSEC, or whatever you want to call it. But Nostr private key maybe is another easy way. But with that information, I can log into any other Nostr related app. So I'm going to show you what that looks like by using something called Amethyst. This is another app that can be used on Android. If you're on iOS, Damus is probably one of the most famous ones there, DAMUS. But this is Amethyst on Android. So I'm going to get my NSEC and I'm going to paste it in here, and then I'm going to hit log in. Okay. With that pasted, I'm going to hit log in. And there we go. So basically everything loads up. There's my profile. If I navigate to my profile, hey, there's all the posts that I previously made. They're all right there. My feed is all there. I can see I'm following there's all the people that I previously followed. So none of that has gone away. If I go to my followers, I can see, I guess I got a few followers from that repost that I did. So all of that is accessible there. And then also my notifications, same thing. I can see it's obviously organized a little bit different, but everything is there as well. And so I have full access to my account. The only thing that is missing is my wallet. All right. So it's important to note that my wallet is no longer associated with this particular app. And so what I would need to do here is I would need to go to my profile, and there's a little edit button up top. And this is where I could edit things like my Lightning address. And so with Amethyst, in this one in particular, you kind of need to link a separate app to it. Or if I go to zap a post, let's say I go back and I want to zap a particular post. Let's go to this one. If I hold that, it will at first ask me, what wallet am I going to use? Okay, so I can connect a wallet service, or I can just, I can basically set up what I want to do. If I just tap the zap once, it will pop up with some default amounts. If I hit 500 sats, it's going to bring up a list of potential apps that I might want to use. So what you can do is, let's say you had Blink Wallet and you had a Lightning address for that. You could go to your profile, change the settings, and just paste in your Lightning address from Blink. And then you would receive all of your zaps directly to Blink. And then every time you sent a zap, you could simply go and select that wallet. So again, as an example, I'll hit 500. It gives me options for different Bitcoin wallets. I'm going to choose Blink, and it will queue up everything that I need. Of course, I got to log in here, but it'll queue up everything I need. I'll hit next. and it says, hey, 500 sats, that looks good. I'll hit next and slide to confirm. It will send a zap to that post or the person who posted that directly from my external wallet. And so now we can see there's that 500 sats that just went to Colin Sullivan here for his post. So it is possible to migrate, but just be aware that if you're using an external wallet, you need to put in the appropriate Lightning address for yourself. And you need to, you'll likely need to use an external wallet if you're not linking something like Alby or Mutiny that we saw as options in the other post as well. So there you go. There you have it. It doesn't matter what app you're using. You can access all of your previous connections and see your feed as you would normally see it through an entirely different client. And that, my friends, is the unique proposition amongst many other things for Nostr. So just some final thoughts here. I think that Primal is an excellent first step into the world of Nostr and decentralized social media. And for some people, it may be an excellent first step into the world of Bitcoin. Of course, it is a custodial method where you're not holding your own coins, but it'll get you at least transacting and seeing how decentralized social media can pair with decentralized censorship resistant money as well. There are some things to learn, obviously, in the realm of if you start using external wallets or if you start migrating to different Nostr apps, but I would take those in baby steps. Don't feel pressured to move too quickly, but do challenge yourself to learn a few new things once you get comfortable with Primal as your first foray into this new world. Let me know what you thought about Primal and potentially some of your first Bitcoin transactions in the comments down below, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, please do like, subscribe, share, all those things. They help a ton getting this content in front of more eyeballs. If you want to help the show in another way, all of the previously mentioned sponsors are in the show notes down below. And if you really liked what you saw and maybe you need some additional help in the realm of Bitcoin or Nostr or both, you can reach out to me at my website, btcsessions.ca, where you can book me for private one-on-one education sessions. With that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, wherever you may be. And I'll see you guys next time for your daily session.